Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading. Hope you are well. I am going to take a quick second to remind everyone that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Sagittarius, so guys, take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. Remember, the energies can reverse. So if it's resonating, Sagittarius, you get in where you fit in, but don't force yourself into a reading that's obviously not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Sagittarius? Sagittarius. Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius, you're starting out with the Hangman in reverse. You have the Ten of Swords reverse and Justice in the reverse. So you're going through some sort of a karmic cycle or a karmic lesson. I wouldn't be stressed about that. I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons we're here. With the Hangman in reverse, I do feel like something you've been waiting for is actually taking place. It could be that you're trying to recover from a situation where you felt betrayed, where you felt there was a painful ending, but you're healing from that. You've been trying to heal from this for quite some time. I do feel like there was an injustice that was done to you. Something here was dramatically unbalanced. For some of you, this is legal issues that you've been going through, and you're about to come out of that. You've been waiting to come out of it, and it looks like that's coming about for a few of you. Now, I do feel like there's a lot of healing, though, that's taking place. So, but there's still something you're trying to get your balance from. It's almost here. Let's see who's in your energy. Show me who's in Sagittarius energy. I feel like you're wrapping up some sort of a karmic cycle here or a karmic lesson. So be patient with yourself in that process. Show me who's in Sagittarius energy. Well, I can't take all of those. All right, so the person in your energy, we have the Ace of Wands in the reverse. We have the Page of Wands reversed, and coming out together is the Five of Wands reversed along with the Two of Cups. All right, so this person in your energy, I do feel like this person has gone through an ending. It's not clear to me if it is with you or with someone else. It possibly was with a new person, though. I do feel like this person feels that nobody compares to you, Sagittarius. Yeah, because they have the Two of Cups, so this person actually feels that you are their soulmate. They want to put things back on the same page. I'm getting the energy, Sagittarius, of somebody who you had an ending with. They may have moved towards someone new. You know, it could have been they even cheated on you, betrayed you. There was an ending between the two of you. This was quite painful for you. And now this person has kind of gone through the same experience, which was their karmic lesson with this other person. And now they're wanting to resolve things between the two of you. They're recognizing that this was a better option for them. So this person has made a mistake. They've learned a karmic lesson. You're involved in that because it was an injustice to you. This person wants to repair things between the two of you. They do love you, I will tell you that, but they have definitely made some mistakes. Let me see the energy between Sagittarius and this person. You could be dealing with a Gemini. Show me the energy between Sagittarius and this person. Four of Wands reversed. There's the ending. Yeah. This person looks like they destabilized this, and I feel like you've waited for this person for a long time. I'm not sure you're waiting for them anymore. I feel like your view of this person may have shifted, but I can see there was an ending here. For some of you, you were married to this person, living with them, or perhaps in a very committed relationship. Let me see what's affecting this connection. But I do see that ending. Show me the ending. It took a long time for you to kind of find your balance here, and some days you still have not, but you're definitely in a healing energy. This was painful for you. So what's affecting the connection is the King of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. could be, like I said, another Sagittarius, but I'm definitely catching very strong wand energy, very strong fire energy. There's action that is taking place here that's going to affect this connection. Let me see your outcome. 8 of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, and what action? Well, somebody is making a return. Somebody who wronged you in the past is coming back in to try to repair that, to try to get the two of you back on the same page. Very interesting. Bottom of the deck is the 10 of Wands in the reverse. This is underlying energy. I do feel like there were a lot of problems here. I feel like you were overwhelmed. And now you're kind of coming out of that energy, and here comes this person back wanting to resolve the problems and the conflicts that the two of you had. So let's clarify. Spirit, why is the Hangman in reverse? Yeah, I feel like you waited for a while for this person to try to come in and make amends, and that wait is over. We have the 10 of Coins, and we have the 8 of Coins. You are, it looks like you're surrounded by very close friends or family members that's very supportive of you, which is very positive. Again, I feel like this was a long-term relationship. You've been looking at all the details. You've been looking at everything that led to this ending. And I do feel like you would like to work things out with this person. Let me see the 10 of Swords. I feel like you would be willing to put effort into it if you feel that it's going to be stable, if you feel like it's going to be, you know, long-term. You're not looking for a fling here. Show me the 10 of Swords reversed. 4 of Coins and the Knight of Cups. You've been holding on to this person. You have feelings for them. You've been holding on to the hope that this person would take action and they would come in with an apology or with an, you know, extending themselves towards you. Now, I do feel like when they come in, you're going to be a little guarded, and I can understand why. You were deeply hurt. So let me see Justice in reverse. Show me Justice in reverse for Sagittarius. 3 of Coins and the 4 of Wands. Now, the energy between the two of you, Sagittarius, you have 4 of Wands in the reverse. You're coming up with the 4 of Wands in the upright. So this was definitely a very solid relationship, possibly even a marriage, because the injustice that was done had to do with you having a contract with this person. For some of you, physical contract, like a marriage. Where you were all in and this person betrayed you. I do feel like you do want to work things out. I do feel like you still want to be with this person. You want this as long as those scales balance out and it becomes stable. So this person is coming back in after a betrayal. So let's see their energy. Let's see what they're doing. Because I feel like you're pretty stable here, but it took a while for you to get there. It took a while. A lot of you really poured yourself into work in order to deal with your heartbreak. So let me see this person's energy. Why is the Ace of Wands in reverse for the person in Sagittarius energy? I'm really getting the feeling here that this person had done to them what they did to you. And that is a karmic lesson. Show me the Ace of Wands reverse for the person in Sagittarius energy. Yeah, 4 of Cups reversed and the 9 of Pentacles. This person is single now. They're recognizing that they were disrespectful to you. This ended because of that disrespect. They're doing an analysis of everything in the past. They're looking at it and they're realizing that they did not properly respect or acknowledge what you were bringing to the table here. And they can't forget you. They can't forget you. They're thinking about you a lot. They're thinking about everything that took place here. And they are now single. So if they ended this connection to move towards someone else, they're now single because what they did was done to them. Page of Wands in the reverse. Why is that here? All right, we have the Nine of Swords and we have the Devil. Yeah, they're feeling regretful. This is guilt. This is guilt. So whatever they put you through, Sagittarius, they're now going through. This person is recognizing that they had some very toxic behaviors, and now they're feeling guilty about that. They see the lesson. They see that that is exactly what they did to you. They're putting it together. And they're losing sleep. They're thinking about it. Now, you could be dealing with a Capricorn, but this is somebody who is feeling guilty. They're losing sleep. They're worried. They've got a lot of anxiety. They're not telling you that. I don't feel like they're going to come towards you and tell you that. They're dealing with some toxicity in their life. So, let me see this bottom energy. Whoever they wound up with, I feel like was more toxic than they were. And now they're having to deal with the same toxic energy. Show me the bottom energy. All right, we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. We have the Seven of Wands. And we have the Star card. Yeah, they definitely want to heal this, but I feel like they're very defensive about what happened. They're defensive about what happened because they know they were in the wrong. They know they're feeling guilty here. And so I feel like that's creating some very stuck energy for them. So I'm not even sure that they're coming forward, but we see this King of Wands, so that's action. It might have taken them a long time because we see that you were waiting for this person to do right by you. They were kind of in this energy where they felt like they had to defend themselves. But ultimately what they want is to move towards you and to work things out. And they're feeling kind of stuck because of that defensive energy, because of the guilt. Let's look at the energy between Sagittarius and this person. Yeah, it's a reckoning. It's a reckoning. So don't be surprised if when they come towards you, they're not going to want to talk about it. The Empress. I love that for you, Sagittarius. And we have the Three of Cups. So the Empress, you could be dealing with a Taurus or a Libra, but that is you really focusing on what's important, understanding your value, your worth. You're not chasing after this person. I do feel like you're thinking about things from a long-term perspective. You've analyzed this, you've looked at this, and you're not going to chase after them. However, the Empress is open to receiving. The Empress does not chase, but you know your value, you know your self-worth. And I also like, Sagittarius, that you're in this very nurturing and kind energy. Some of you are very closely related to your mother, or there's a strong feminine presence in your life that is very supportive of you. It could even be a mentor at work, but there's this very strong presence that has been very helpful to you. Or you could be that person for someone else, but I definitely like this energy. It's very high vibrational, and I do feel that, you've come out of this heartbreak much stronger than when you went in. Now, this person that's in your energy, they are now single. They want to come in and reconcile with you. You could run into this person at some place where the two of you both frequent, or in some sort of a social circle of some kind. But I'm telling you, this person feels that they're feeling guilty, and they feel that happiness would be with you. They want to reconcile. Let me see. They could be dating at this point because they are single. Why is the King of Wands here? Why is the King of Wands here? Ooh, look at that. You also have the Emperor. All right. And the Chariot in the reverse. You took charge of your life. Yeah, you took charge of your life. You might feel this is your divine partner. I do feel like you're going to be a little guarded here. You're so high vibrational, which is wonderful. You've healed. You've done a lot of healing here, and you know that you have a lot of love to give. I do feel that you're waiting for this person to take action. You're going to be very guarded when they do. And with the Chariot in the reverse, I feel like this person is still seated in some toxic energy of guilt. They're still coming to terms with what took place. And don't for one second, even though they're not telling you, they're aware that karma has caught up with them. So you might live at a distance from this person. I do feel that they are going to at some point take action, but it might not be right now because they're still stuck in this energy that's toxic. So yeah, let me see your outcome, because this is the outcome is somebody making a return. Are you contacting them? Because I don't see you chasing. I see you being very balanced. You're very balanced in your emotions. You're masculine, you're feminine. Everything is very balanced here. Thank you. I'm going to start that over. All right. Show me the outcome for Sagittarius. You might be dealing with a Cancer sign. An Aries sign is here. Show me this Eight of Cups in the reverse. Give me the outcome for Sagittarius. Oh. Give me the outcome for Sagittarius. All right. Page of Cups reversed. Queen of Swords. And the Nine of Wands reversed. Now, I will say the Nine of Wands came out directly sideways. And so I do feel like this person is wanting to come in and resolve things with you. But again, they're stuck in this toxic energy of regret. They're stuck in the toxic energy of guilt. And that's keeping them from actually taking the steps necessary. There are still feelings here. This person does love you, and there's feelings here, but nobody's expressing them right now. You're open to this person coming towards you as long as they come towards you properly. You haven't forgotten the injustice that was done to you. And I do feel that you are open to conversation. You're open to talking to them. But if they step out of line, you're going to lop their little head off with your sword there, Queen of Swords. You're very, very much so open, but you're not going to put up with nonsense, okay? I don't see this person coming back within the next week because they're in this stuck energy. They're basically trying to overcome all this guilt. They're trying, and they're very defensive about what took place in the past. I feel like they're going to want to not discuss that, you know? But unfortunately, that's going to have to happen if they are going to resolve this issue with you. They don't know if you're with somebody new. So that's another part of it. They don't want to, you know, move towards you and find out that this is a closed door. They are eventually going to move towards you. I don't see it happening this week. I do see you in this energy of receiving them and talking with them, but being very, very much in your boundaries, which I think is a positive thing after everything that's happened. I love that your energy is so balanced and so high vibrational. I love that you have, you know, done a lot of healing here. I can see that you have other love offers that are available to you, but I do also feel like somehow you're still holding on to this person a little bit, and I do feel like you are open to, you know, discussing this with them, but you're not jumping into anything. Yeah, and they're going to have to work this out. This is a karmic lesson that you also have gone through. You're on the other side of it. They're not quite there. They want to work it out. They want to heal and balance this. But sometimes they get stuck in their own feelings and emotions, their own karmic lesson. They haven't quite gotten the lesson yet. And we can see that because they're still in this devil energy. This person needs to work on themselves. Yeah, I do feel like they are going to eventually come back in, though. And they're going to want to resolve the problems and get the two of you on the same page, but probably not this week. All right, bottom of the deck, though, is the Wheel of Fortune. which tells me that problems are resolving. Everything is moving in your favor. And you could also be dealing with divine timing, particularly if you are dealing with a twin flame or a deep soulmate connection. So, you know, I do feel like that plays a heavy part in this connection for some reason. But I do see the underlying energy moving into the future beyond this is to resolve the problems and to move things in a more positive direction. But they've got to learn the lesson first. All right, I'm going to pull an oracle card, pulling 4. And you have love offers, but I feel like you're not really as open to them as what, you know, you might want to believe. Okay, so your oracle card is number 34, and this card is called Entrapment. So let's read that. This is from the Heal Yourself reading cards, by the way. It says, you are letting too many things in your environment control your life. You've drawn this card because it's time for a shift in personal power. You're encouraged to take responsibility for your life and choose new ways of thinking that create change. The reality is that for you to make the changes you want, need, and desire, you need a system, daily discipline, and motivation. As long as you blame outside influences for any circumstances in your life, you're powerless, such as it's the government, your abusive background, the interest rates, and the bank's fault. The system that many ultra-successful people use is that they read books every day, listen to audios, go to as many seminars as they can, practice recognizing others' achievements, and form relationships with like-minded people. And you know what? I do feel like you're kind of lifting yourself out of that entrapment. I almost feel like this is for the cross watcher, because with the devil here, that could be what is going on with this person. They're you know, entrapping themselves in and playing the victim perhaps in the situation. I don't see you doing that at this point. And if you do, I feel like you are actively lifting yourself out of that because you have such high vibrational energy and such balance here. So either way, I hope that this has been helpful for you, Sagittarius. If you've resonated with this reading, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hype the video if you get the opportunity. And until I see you in your next reading, Sagittarius, know that you are loved, and namaste.